Hey everybody, what is up? The name is Brett here, and today I'm going to talk to you about what might be known as one of the worst Pixar movies ever created. And no, it is not The Good Dinosaur. More on that maybe on a later date. I don't have the energy to talk about that right now. No, we are talking about Cars 2. So I just recently watched Cars 2 for the first time since it was in theaters 10 years ago or whenever it was in theaters. When it did come out. So, okay, I didn't see it ever again because I was like, about my new recent viewing of it, it's not horrible. I know a lot of people give it crap. I know a lot of people think it is one of Pixar's worst movies. I agree it is actually probably one of their worst movies. I don't think it's that bad. Do I think it's a good sequel? No. I think it's the worst sequel ever. It doesn't make sense. It has no business being a sequel. That's one thing that made me so mad about the entire thing. It had nothing to do with Cars 1. It was about Mater, which is great. Great for Mater for having his own movie. It should have been a spin-off like how Planes is. How Planes is basically Cars, but it's not. Also, though, I found out Planes is actually made by a different studio, but that's not the point. Cars 2 shouldn't have been Cars 2. Cars 3 should have been Cars 2. Honestly, there shouldn't have been a sequel to Cars. Literally, the first movie ended great. I don't get why they made a sequel to Cars, but they did, and that sequel is Cars 2, and that was a horrible decision on their part. It would have been a great spin-off. I would have liked the movie a lot more if it was like Spies, or like Spy Mobile, or some stupid, something dumb with Cars. It's not a sequel to Cars. It's a totally unrelated story, which I don't, why did they do that? As a sequel, trash, 0 out of 10, horrible movie. Don't look at it as a sequel. As a standalone film, great. I think it's kind of how the same thing how Toy Story 4 is. Toy Story 4 is a horrible sequel. They should have stopped after Toy Story 3. Toy Story 4 would have been a great spin-off, would have been a great series of shorts. It's not a good sequel. Cars 2 would have been a great spin-off movie, would have been a great series of shorts. Not a good sequel. More into Cars 2, that movie's really morbid. Like I said, I literally haven't watched it since it came out in theaters. So I remembered nothing of it whatsoever. I remembered the scene with Wasabi, and that was about it. It's really morbid. I think I tried counting the amount of cars who died, and like it was at least 10. 10 cars died. Like, that's insane. Like, okay, I know Mulan, there's a lot of deaths. I know Mulan, a lot of people died, but you don't really see it. It's kind of just implied. But in Cars 2, you literally see cars dying. You see them launching, crashing into buildings, exploding. You see them exploding. Like, there's that one car, I'm pretty sure he dies, who has the all-in-all fuel in him, and they're like torturing him. And they're like, you know, if we turn it up all the way, you're gonna die. And he's like, bet. And they do it anytime. He literally just explodes on from after being tortured. Imagine, tell me another Disney movie where they torture someone on screen besides Cars 2. I honestly can't think of anything. Like, I could just be glossing over a Disney movie or just not know very many, but they torture him. They torture this man, this car, they torture him. And then they kill him. I want to say at least, I know for sure, I remember I counted 6 cars on-screen deaths. Cars are dying, so besides it being very morbid, it was a decently good movie. It was not as bad as I remembered it being. It's not as bad as people made it sound. So you have to stack up Cars 2 against the rest of the Pixar library, and I do agree it's down there. In my opinion, down there next to Brave and The Good Dinosaur. I want to say, honestly, it's kind of tied with Onward in my opinion. Onward is better to me. I really liked Onward, but looking at the grand scheme of the Pixar universe, it goes Onward, Cars 2. It was a dumb movie. It was very predictable. It was a very good movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Something that I don't understand about the movie is, spoiler alert, spoiler warning if you have not seen this movie. Lightning McQueen cheats in all the races. They all have to use this fuel called All-in-All. It's a brand of fuel. They all have to use it. Lightning McQueen doesn't. He believes he does. He believes he does, but he doesn't. Fillmore switches out the All-in-All fuel with Fillmore's organic fuel because Fillmore doesn't think it'll be safe for McQueen to drive with, to race with, and so he switches the fuel. So Lightning cheats because first 3 races they're forced to use All-in-All. Like, that is part of the rules of the race, to use this special fuel, and Lightning doesn't. Like, so besides the fact that Lightning McQueen is a cheater, I honestly don't even know how to talk about it because like it's such a mind trip. Like, the entire time I was like, this isn't a movie. What it is basically just a bunch of, you remember like little Mater shorts? It's just a bunch of those strung together to be a 90-minute film, which is great, but when that's the entire movie, it's kind of boring. I just wanted to remember this classic gem with y'all of Cars 2 and how not good it is, but also how not bad it is. It's not good. The sound is beautiful. Like, I don't know what it is. The animation, okay, I don't know where to start in the animation. Let me just say it's
horrendous.
It's nothing like the original, which I think the original came out 2 or 3 years prior. Like, why is it so bad? All the cars are matte. It's a car. It's reflective. They're all like flat, very matte. It's like, it's almost like they were going to make it a short, or they were going to make it like a straight to DVD release sort of thing. Like, think about the Disney Princess sequels. Now compare that animation, that artwork to the originals. Like, that's literally what Cars 2 is, which makes no sense to me. For one, it's Pixar, and for two, it was released in theaters. Why was Cars 2 art so garbage? Something else I don't really like about it showed us that the other vehicles are human too, like are alive too. Ooh, not like it. I give it I think I gave it a solid 4 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not bad, it's not good. I would not watch it again. You should not ever watch it again. I've watched it, I believe, twice now, and that is honestly twice too many. It'd probably be an average to averagely good Dreamworks film. I don't know, man. I don't know who greenlit that project. I don't know who thought that was gonna be a good idea. I want to know why they thought Cars needed a sequel in the first place. I love Cars 3. Cars 3 is one of my top favorite Pixar movies. I love it. I also like secretly really love the movie Cars. It's like a really big guilty pleasure of mine. I don't know why, but Cars didn't need a sequel. Cars 3 didn't need to be. Cars 3 was only made because Cars 2 was garbage, and so people were like, oh, okay, you're gonna give us a sequel. Like,
cool, let's make it good.
The one movie that I stand by needed a sequel, and I'm mad about the sequel, is The Incredibles. Because at the end of The Incredibles, it like led up to a sequel, and then that sequel didn't happen, and then the sequel that did happen like 10 years later wasn't at all related. It was really bad. But it was a sequel. Cars 2 is not a sequel. Cars 2 is a spin-off of the Cars movie. I don't know who thought it was a good idea. I just remembered I watched this, and I wanted to tell you guys about my experience before it like fell out of my head. Because I'm really bad at remembering movies and paying attention to movies. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe down below. Bye!